everybody, it's Badette. I wanted to do a reading for today as a supplement to yesterday's Peace Talks. Yesterday's Peace Talks, I'll put the link in the description of this video, but it was about stepping through doorways. So I wanted to go into more depth into the doorways, because I think that there is a lot of misconceptions, and sometimes we have these ideas of what doorways mean, and I want to go beyond the mind and go deeper into what Spirit's really, God, Universe, Spirit is directing us as far as directing us to as far as these doorways. I will tell you that construction started on a building a couple blocks from us, but you might hear some jackhammering in the background. It's super annoying. And also the dogs decided a few minutes ago to start roughhousing, and they've been running back and forth. It's kind of funny, but eventually they'll probably land back in this room and you might hear them in the background. Nothing's perfect, life isn't perfect, and I'm not gonna hold up stuff because things aren't perfect. It's life, so we're gonna roll with it. But I wanna I wanna really get set on the intention of opening up more information about these doorways that we can expect for this week, because I feel like it just feels really important. It feels really, it almost feels as if it gives us the shift. It gives us the moment that when we enter through a doorway, we finally choose a doorway, we enter through it. At that point then, everything changes. And it's not in a scary way, it just means that everything flows in a direction. And as long as we are fully aligned with the doorway and we choose it consciously and we choose it with excitement and love in our heart and the whole feeling of, oh my gosh, yes, then we start flowing into the aligned pathway of our heaven on earth. So this week feels really important, and the thing to remember is it may not be an obvious doorway. A lot of times it's very subtle. Yep, the dogs just made their way out. You should see them, y'all, behind us. So just know that there's some really beautiful canine energy, and they're having a good time. They are in their own heaven on earth with each other, and so they're giving of their spirit to this. So this just feels so important to me. I want to go even deeper. So let's just see what's being the main theme for this doorway. What is being called forth? Darn, this is the second time this crystal keys. And I say darn because crystal keys 22 is a very magical number. 22 is the elevation of 11. It's doubled. 11 is a portal into something, into a new world. 22 takes us into, and this card even looks like a whole new world, right? So you have the being here, but you have this whole world that she's expanding into. So this doorway is literally taking us into a completely different world. And at one point when we enter through a doorway, the world may look very similar, but at the same time, it's very different. Okay, so let's go in a little bit deeper into those crystal keys. The other part of this is when I do peace talks, I usually use the cards to kind of guide me in the message and to help me get a little bit more detailed in what I'm pulling forth. And this card came up yesterday as I prepared for the talk, the peace talk on the stepping through the doorway. Crystal keys came out of that deck. So there's something very important for us to know. The other thing is here, what I notice is if you look closely in these bubbles here, there's these symbols. These symbols are light language. And light language comes through from our DNA. It's from that DNA blueprint. And those messages, that language, that message is pulled out of our DNA as we get these solar upgrades. So again, we talked about it on the Peace Talks, but remember, you're gonna be getting some new messages this week. And I think these new messages is kind of going to be the moment when you turn the metaphoric doorknob and step through this doorway. So let's go a little bit deeper into these crystal keys, into the crystal keys of this doorway. And isn't it funny that the keys, crystal keys open, oh my gosh, I just now got this. Crystal keys open the door. You will get in crystals, your pineal gland, at the very center of your pineal gland are crystals. The very center of the earth are crystals. So the messages, everything comes from, we are crystal beings, and in these solar energies, the more that we purify, the more that we release these densities of old programming, of old emotions, we become more crystallized. We are becoming crystallized beings. So there's a lot of synchronicity is coming through. Because we're still in the energy of the full moon, I'm also going to use these cards here, the moon cards, just to go deeper into the crystal keys, so we are understanding what is unlocking the door of I want to say opportunity, but I don't want you to misinterpret this as it's like, oh, a job opportunity or whatever. This is going to be an opportunity to choose something. I can't quite put words to it, but it's going to be, it's an opportunity of clarity. It's the opportunity to finally see the doorway where you say, oh my gosh, that is it. And I don't know what that means for you. Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what it means for me, but it feels so exciting to imagine the understanding that this doorway will bring. So here it's time to take action. Okay, that comes out. Oops. And the energy is gaining momentum. That's exactly what I feel. I feel really strongly that the energy is gaining momentum for this week. Hold on, that's gonna drive me crazy. My little shelf here, these stupid dogs. I love them so much, they're funny. Okay, so these crystal keys is the doorway. This is like the main moment of clarity. One of these bubbles comes up and all of a sudden it connects. And you think, oh my gosh, and you will know exactly what, when, and what it is that you will need to do. And I say do because it's not going to be some monumental doing thing. It's going to be something where you're just like, oh, I'm going to make that call. I'm going to look that up. I'm going to say yes to this. I'm going to follow this because it makes me excited. And the energy then is going to gain momentum in the direction of where this door is leading you. Once you step through that doorway, once you say yes to whatever this idea is, when you say yes, it's just going to be like this for you. Bam, 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 bam. Things are going to start opening up. So let's go into more detail. Dogs. Sorry, I keep talking about the dogs, but this is a new thing. Priya, our big dog, she was our rescue from Texas. She never really played a lot. She's just like kind of the lazy dog, and she would run around with Pepe, but recently she's, I don't know, like some new doorway opened for her and some new language opened up for her that she understands how to roughhouse now, and she loves it. So when we go for walks, it's kind of annoying because they always want to mess around, and now they do it in the living room with, drinks on the table, and things get spilled. Things have gotten spilled. We know better now, but Bud and I are learning how to be with these dogs that roughhouse constantly. So shuffling the cards to go even deeper into this doorway and the energy of momentum and the action steps. So let's take a look at what we're being called forth into. Okay, is the Queen of Pentacles. Seven of Cups. Move this over. Queen of Swords, yeah, okay. I'm starting to get it. The Star, it's like a moment. It's a moment that's going to just, you'll just, I think, I mean, we'll know it. The Ace of Swords, yes. Okay. It is a moment. So, oh, I like this. Okay. So, we got the Queen of Pentacles right under this crystal keys. You will, the Queen of Pentacles, you will be so grounded in your moment, in this time. The call for this week is to be fully, to not be doing, not be waiting, not be searching, not to be anxious about this moment. Like, not anxious as in like you're afraid of what it's going to bring, but like, oh, am I going to miss it? The more you worry about missing the doorway opening, the more that you think about where's my doorway, where's my doorway, that's really affirming that the doorway's not there. The doorway is right in front of you. It's within you already. These updates that we've been through this last week, it's already there. It's just one by one, these bubbles of new messages, this new communication from the blueprint. Remember in the peace talks I was talking about, when you have a blueprint and then you get an update, you kind of lay the update on top of the previous blueprint, and the new parts are on there. That's what's happening every time we get a solar update. It's the same you. It just, the new parts, the new information, the new data comes in. Those data packets come in from the scalar waves. They come in at like 2 million miles per hour. They slice through your being into your DNA. And as you integrate in them, we've had days and days of integration. Now these new updates, these new ways of being, these new thoughts, the new clarity is starting to bubble up in a moment. So as long as you are just being you this week, and you're going about your day completely trusting that you will know the moment it's time to take action, and at that point you will have chops, you will have options, you will have choices. You are just simply, the intentions that you have are now circulating in front of you. And the Queen of Swords is very grounded in her intellect, in her mental stability. She's just sitting back and just letting the wind take her, right? Air is another common theme that has come up for me personally. I did a reading just for my own self, my own doorway today, to get a little bit more information on what I want, and that's something I'll offer too. If you all want to go into, if you want to have your own reading done, personalized reading to go into your own doorway, I'm open to do that. We can talk about it. You can send me a message. I do personalized readings, and so we can do that for you. It is donation based, and it is based on whatever. We can talk about it, but the air is just being in the breath of life, flowing with the breeze, so to speak. And what that means is just kind of going where you are led, allowing the intellect to take, the mind to take a back seat, and just being in the receptivity of where you are led, being in life, allowing life to be the queen of your domain, and allow yourself to be led into the things that are pulling you forth in joy, the curiosities. You're going to have new desires, new joys, new curiosities, and as long as you are following those, you will have many choices. Hey, be careful. And you will know when it's time to take action and say yes to something like that. And when it's time to say yes, it'll be a moment in time where all of a sudden that moment comes. Hey, that moment comes, and it's as if you are connected to your soul star, because you are. It's going to be an aha moment that comes from within, and you think, oh my gosh. And at that moment, you have a completely different way of thinking, of being. That pineal gland, that crystal core of your pineal gland comes online and starts projecting out into your reality a brand new reality. You are now gaining momentum on that new pathway that doorway has brought you into. So in a moment, you say yes, that means you have opened the doorway and you've walked through. So it may not be necessarily an outward opportunity that comes to you. It's most likely going to be an idea. It's most likely going to be an intention, a thought, an insight where you say, yes, oh my gosh, and it's going to gnaw away at you. It's going to be so exciting. You're not going to be able to stop thinking about it. And at that point, the intellect, the pineal gland starts projecting that out into reality, and then an opportunity will come. It will be presented. You'll see the projection of it in your reality. So let's go a little bit deeper. I want to go a little bit deeper into this. What is this insight? How, I don't want to get into the how as much because we get caught up in that. What more do we need to know as far as expecting the doorway, expecting the moment in time? Okay, we have the moon, interesting, because moon is all about emotions. It takes you very very deep into the emotional, deeper aspects of you. And the interesting thing is, on this particular card, it's a full moon. So we are in the full moon energy now. The full moon was last night, which was Sunday, but we are still in it. So there's something interesting to really pay attention to, again, this week, but especially today and into tomorrow, when these full moon energies are still very much at in our awareness. Yes, the sun. Look, we got the star, the sun, the moon. It's extremely potent right now. And look at her. She's just receiving these scalar waves, and she's receptive, totally receptive. Okay, I'm gonna put this together. The Chariot. Holy crap. Okay, I like this. The Two of Wands. Yep. And the Knight of Cups. Okay, yes. All right, this is making more sense to me, and I'll explain what's coming to me. Okay, we got the moon underneath the choices. So these choices are going to be all of the things within you, the intentions, everything. Remember, we talked about in the peace talks about being very clear on what is your heaven on earth. What does it include? All parts of it. Even if you think, I kind of like my life as it is. Go bigger. Go bigger. I'm not saying that you have to change what your life is, but how can it be more enhanced? How can it be healthier? How can it be wealthier? How can it be even more peaceful? What could you add to it? What do you want it to be? How can you share it? So there's even more options that are taking you into a higher expression. And if you have challenges, or you have great intentions, everything that you have been pondering and writing about, and in your journal, or seeing, envisioning in meditation, the feeling of it is really important. So go deep into the feeling. What is standing between you energetically, emotionally, and all of these choices? In these choices, is there something that you're like, I would love this bowl right here, but I've got this. This is what you want to be spending your time on clearing this week. Getting past, purging anything that stands between you, that pulls you down from the intention into a lower realm. So that's what you're going to want to spend your time on, so that you can just be a queen. You can just be, look how peaceful she is. She's in her world. She's got her eyes closed. She's got her hands on her world, and she's just at peace. She's sitting in nature. This is the Queen of Pentacles. This is your physical world. She is at peace. And if you are in some kind of turmoil at this moment about anything that you want in your heaven, you sit in that turmoil so that you can purge it, so that you can pass it, because it's standing in between. That turmoil is standing between you and these choices that are being revealed to you. So that when you come into and you are following, you're going throughout your day, you're going through moment by moment, just allowing yourself to be pushed through mentally, and your thoughts are just clear. Her eye is on the horizon. Her eye is on her heaven on earth, and the sun is just beaming forth, allowing all that. Remember, the electromagnetic field, that your intention is a mix of your thoughts and your feelings. So you're clearing any feelings that take you out of peace, and you are keeping your mind on the heaven on earth, and everything is being supported by the universe, by God, by Gus, universe, spirit, the sun, source, all of it. And the chariot is that moment. That is the moment. It's the moment when the star, the moment comes, when the insight comes. The chariot is the thing that brings in the gift of insight, the gift of perception. And for some of us, and for some of you, it could be the gift of an opportunity from the outside world, because you've already done a lot of this, and the projection comes. You project this peace. You've projected this peace and this calm in your mind for long enough that all of a sudden the opportunity comes, and you choose it, and you say, yes, bless you. And when you do, you pass through the doorway, the two of wands. You pass through this portal, and at that point, the world is at your feet, and the momentum is gaining, and you are in a whole new place of thought, a whole new place of projecting your reality, and you become the Knight of Cups, which is very stable, which is the stable in emotion, stable in your on your feet, so to speak, stable in your actions. Everything kind of comes together, and you just sit back, relax, and enjoy the journey, because the energy of the momentum of the energy just takes you, just flows like the breeze. It washes you forward, it blows you forward, and it's easy. Heaven on earth is easy. Once you claim it, and you choose it, and you get your emotions at a peaceful place, all of this just comes together, and it just becomes this flow like a river. It just pushes you forward easily and effortlessly towards the materialization of your heaven on earth. This doorway is where ease and flow, it starts for you. I don't know if it starts, but it starts to take momentum, and then it just, everything is like, oh my gosh. It's kind of like this is where we start to embrace the whole saying of everything you touch turns to gold. You're like, man, how is she or he's so lucky? Okay, so I'm going to do one last card, because the dogs are getting even crazier, to just bring this whole idea home. So I'm hoping that you're gaining some insight from this. What this is really kind of honing in for me, the importance is, a lot of it is like, all of the energy is at your back right now. It is pushing you forward. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is to stay in peace, trust, and surrender, and allow yourself to keep your eye on what is heaven on earth. Anything that is not heaven on earth in your world, you just sit with, you let it go, you surrender to it, because the energy will push it out of the way. Priya, quiet. She just looked at me like a side eye. Okay. Last card. Oh, moon, triple moon. Embracing all aspects of yourself, the divine and the earthly. This is the week I do believe that the divine and the earthly part of you really become obvious. They come into alignment and appear. It's almost as if your reality, like spirit world meets the earthly world, the physical world. And it comes in that moment of time. It comes in that one moment where all of a sudden something makes sense, and you just take action on it. And once you say yes and take action, and it might be just make a phone call, do some, whatever. I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be unique for all of us, and I don't want to put ideas in your mind that your mind may attach to. It's just staying so at peace that you just know it, and you're like, that's an interesting thought. I kind of like the idea. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to make the phone call. I'm going to take that step. I'm going to read something. I'm going to say yes to this idea. And as soon as you say yes, it's almost as if the spirit world comes in and is like, pew, and it creates that star moment, that moment, and you say yes, and then a whole new projection of your world starts to unfold. And that's what then like really beams that feeling of freedom in your world. And October is about freedom, and we just start moving down a pathway of ease and flow. But we have to remain open to it. We have to remain grounded and in peace, so we don't miss the crystal key. We don't miss the key that opens that door, creates that moment, and projects a new reality. I hope this helps. If you get something from this, if you hear something or you get a message from this reading, add it into the comments, because this is a co-creative message. Here's what comes to me. I'm sharing what comes to me as I go through these, but I want to also have you put your thoughts in there. What comes to mind? How is this showing up for you? So that we can all see all of these different perspectives, and as a community, put our pieces, our keys together, because the more keys we have to put in a lock, one of them is bound to unlock a door for someone else. So it's really important we come together as a community. I am not the sole reader of this. You are too, because you're here and you've co-created it. So make sure you put in the comments anything that comes to you or something that you have experienced, so we can all have your key to help unlock maybe another deeper door, and maybe an aha moment for someone else to project a new reality of heaven on earth. Thank you all so much for being here. I love this reading. I've had a really good time with it. Thanks for being patient with the dogs. They're a part of my world, so they're a part of this as well. So thanks for being patient. Love to you all. See you soon.